I never imagined that a family BBQ would blow up my entire relationship with my sister. We've always been close. The kind of sisters who borrow each other's clothes, binge watch rom-coms, and gossip about everything. But after what happened last weekend, I don't know if we'll ever speak again. It started with a few drinks, some music, and my sister's husband Jake getting way too comfortable around me. At first, I thought he was just tipsy, but when he said what he said and did what he did, I knew I had to tell her. Even if it destroyed us both, my sister Maya married Jake 2 years ago. He always seemed like the golden guy, charming, helpful, worked a stable job in finance, and always treated Maya like a queen in public. But something always felt a little off. Maybe it was the way he complimented other women just a little too much, or how his gaze lingered when I wore something even slightly tight. I never said anything, because I didn't have proof. I didn't want to create drama. I figured maybe I was just being paranoid. Last weekend, Maya hosted a big family BBQ at their house. It was the first one of the summer, and everyone was excited. Uncles, aunts, cousins, even Maya's in-laws came. I helped Maya set everything up, from marinating the ribs to arranging the outdoor lights. We were laughing, blasting old music from our childhood, and sipping mimosas while Jake grilled with the guys and played DJ. As the evening wore on, the drinks flowed more freely. The music got louder. People danced, joked, and piled their plates with food. Jake was buzzing between the grill and the coolers, but I noticed he'd had more than a few drinks. He wasn't sloppy, but his face was flushed, and he was a little too friendly with people, especially me. Around 8 p.m., most people had left, except for a few family members still lounging with drinks in hand. Maya had gone inside to help her mother-in-law pack up desserts. I stayed out by the patio, scrolling through my phone and enjoying the warm evening air. That's when Jake sat down next to me with a half-full beer in hand. "You've grown up so much," he said, staring at me a little too intensely. I gave a polite laugh and said, "Yeah, well, we all do eventually." Then he leaned in slightly and said, "No, I mean it. You're looking really good these days." I froze for a second, not sure how to respond. I chuckled nervously and said, "Okay, maybe you've had one too many." But he didn't back off. Instead, he tilted his head and added, "Come on, don't act like you don't know how attractive you are. I've noticed for a while now, I just never had the chance to say it." Now I wasn't just uncomfortable, I was angry. "Jake, you're married to my sister. What the hell is wrong with you?" He just shrugged and smiled like it was some harmless joke. "Relax. I'm just saying you're hot. I thought you'd appreciate a compliment." I stood up and told him he was disgusting. I expected him to get embarrassed, or at least apologize. But he just took a sip of his beer and said, "Don't act like you haven't noticed the chemistry." I walked away and went straight inside. I wanted to tell Maya right then and there, but I didn't want to cause a scene at her own party. So I made up an excuse about a headache and left early. Maya looked confused and disappointed, but I couldn't even look her in the eye. For the next 2 days, I couldn't sleep. Every time my phone lit up with her name, I felt like I was lying just by not saying anything. She kept sending me pictures from the BBQ, a selfie of us laughing, a boomerang of Jake flipping burgers, a group shot with all the cousins. I felt sick. So I told her. I invited her to brunch at our favorite cafe, the one we've been going to since college. It's where we've cried about breakups, celebrated promotions, and talked about everything under the sun. I thought maybe being in a familiar place would help ease the conversation. After ordering, I looked her in the eyes and said, "I need to talk to you about something serious." She immediately tensed. "Is everything okay?" "No," I said. "It's about Jake. Something happened at the BBQ. He hit on me." She blinked. "What?" I explained everything, every word he said, his tone, his expression, how he didn't even try to deny it. I told her how gross I felt, how shocked I was. She stared at me for a long time. Then she said something that completely broke my heart. "That doesn't sound like him. Are you sure you didn't misunderstand?" I was stunned. "Maya, you really think I would lie about this?" "I'm not saying you're lying," she said slowly. "But maybe he was just drunk and said something dumb." I wanted to scream. "Even if he was drunk, that doesn't make it okay. You don't hit on your wife's sister. That's not just saying something dumb. That's disrespect. That's betrayal. Maya was quiet for the rest of brunch. She didn't even finish her food. When we hugged goodbye, it felt robotic, not like us at all. I didn't hear from her for days. Then Jake texted me. Really classy, telling your sister lies to get attention. You should be ashamed of yourself. I blocked him immediately. That night, Maya finally called me. Her voice was cold. She said she confronted Jake, and he admitted to maybe saying something inappropriate, but insisted it didn't mean anything. She said he'd been under stress and had too much to drink, and they were working through it. I asked her if she actually believed him. Her silence was answer enough. I need some space from you, she said, and hung up. That was almost 3 weeks ago. Since then, I've heard bits and pieces from our cousin who lives nearby. Apparently, Maya and Jake are going to couples counseling. She told our cousin that she's trying to save her marriage. I've been left out of everything: group chats, Sunday dinners, even her Instagram stories. I'm the villain in this story. To her, I'm the sister who tried to ruin her perfect life. And to Jake, I'm a threat. But I don't regret telling her. I'd rather lose her trust than keep a secret that big. One that would eat me alive every time I looked her in the face. What hurts the most is that I told the truth, and I'm still the one being punished for it. It's been a month since that night, and my sister still hasn't spoken to me. Part of me understands. Betrayal is hard to process, even if I wasn't the one who betrayed her. I did what I thought was right, even though it cost me our relationship. But I can't carry the guilt of someone else's actions. If she chooses to believe him over me, that's her path to walk. I'll be here when she's ready, if she ever is. Until then, I just hope she sees the truth before it's too late, because silence doesn't fix a broken foundation.